Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new project for Scrapbook Nerd. And this week we're working with the color challenge, and it's showing in the screen right now. And I am loving it because there's a lot of distress, a lot of color. And if you've heard my any time that I've talked about color, for me, my favorite color is black and white with a hint of rainbow. So having this mood board to inspire me, I didn't know which way to go. All I knew is that I was gonna add mixed media, and those chevrons at the bottom were calling my name. So I'm gonna start with adding my mixed media, and for this I am gonna use a Vicky Butin foundation paper and some gesso, and you can find all of this at the Scrapbook Nerd store. I'm using all the products that I'm using are coming from there because Joe is pretty good at getting the stuff that I need or I want. She's really nice about it. So all I'm doing is I am adding gesso with my brayer to the center of the page, and you're gonna see that it's gonna give a light application and very even. Now what I'm going to work are the Pinkfresh Studio Liquid watercolor. I love working with watercolor. If you've seen my project before, then you guys know that I love watercolor. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna create, I'm not gonna say a rainbow, but I'm gonna pick pretty much all the colors that you see in the circles at the bottom. Maybe the blue is gonna change a little bit by the circles that I see at the top to add my mixed media in the background. And I'm starting with, I think it's called Blue Sky or Sky Blue from, like I said, I'm using the Pinkfresh liquid watercolor. And all I'm going to do is add a little bit of water with my brush onto the foundation paper that I have gesso. And then I'm just adding, you're going to need just a little drop of the paint because it's really pigmented, like it's really not heavy, but it's very vibrant. So I'm using just a little plastic sheet to add my drop of color there, and I'm adding water. And then I'm just gonna kind of put it on top of the drops of water that I added on the foundation paper and kind of help it move around. You're gonna see that I'm actually gonna move it around faster using the plastic in this case, but not necessarily you're gonna do with all the colors. Now I'm gonna go into the pink, and I'm gonna repeat the process for every color, but I'm gonna actually talk to you about how you go about mixing the colors. Now the color that I'm using right now is called Bubblegum, and it's a really vibrant pink, but I didn't want to get to it. The color that is showing in the mood board is not a cool pink. It's more of a coral tone. So what I'm doing is I'm mixing the bubblegum pink, with a little bit of tangerine, these are all colors from Pinkfresh Studio, and that's gonna give me that warm pink that I'm looking for. Now once I put them down, I'm gonna realize that it's really pigmented, so it's darker. So I'm gonna start adding a bit more of the Blue Sky to the top just to get it to be a little bit darker. Now since I already had mixed a little bit of tangerine with a little bit of bubble gum, I'm just gonna use that orange because it's the perfect orange that I have in those circles at the bottom. So again, I am adding water, and then I am adding the color on top of it just a little bit because it goes a long way. It's really pigmented watercolor. If you have never played with this or you're curious about them, an excellent thing, if you do mixed media, these mediums are excellent. You just gotta be careful, play a little bit outside of the camera or out before you go into a big project because they are pigmented, so a little bit's gonna go a long way. So I recommend that you play a little bit before you try and create a project that you want to keep, just so you have a better idea of what you like. Now to get to that cool pink that you see at the bottom, I am actually using, I think it's called Red Apple, and just adding lots of water because it is a red tone and it's really rich, a rich red tone. So a lot of water is gonna tone it down to give me that kind of cool pink you see at the bottom. And then I am gonna bring in the yellow. Now when I bring the yellow, I can remember what the name of the yellow is on Pinkfresh Studio Liquid watercolor. Sorry about that. The yellow is very vibrant. You're gonna see that I added just a drop, and I added quite a bit of water, and I'm gonna do the same procedure, add a little bit of water to my background and end that the pigment. But if it gets really vibrant, you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring a piece of paper towel and just kind of soak up the color, and that's gonna take a lot of the vibrancy, just leaving me a little bit of a softer shade. And then I'm still loving the blue at the top, but if you see the circles in the mood board, there's like these darker circles of blue. So I'm gonna bring a little bit of this is called Sapphire from the Pinkfresh Studio Liquid watercolor, and it's just a deeper blue, and I think it's just gonna bring it's gonna deepen the top part of my layout, and also that blue sky kind of tealish color, and it's just gonna complement all the colors. And all I'm doing, if you know my work, then you guys know that I love splatters. I'm just adding a few splatters to this layout, and I'm gonna set it aside to dry. Now, like I said, This was right up my alley. My background looks like the middle picture. I have the colors of the circles up top. I have the colors of the circle at the bottom. But one of the things that really caught my eye were those chevron lines that you see there. So while it was drying, I went to look for some papers, and I decided to play a lot with the Pinkfresh papers. I love the Joyful Day collection. I totally love it. So I'm gonna pull papers that kind of match the colors that you see there, but I want to bring some black. So I went and pulled the Flower Market collection from Echo Park, or is it Cartavella? I can't remember. Sorry, I'm fighting a cold, so if I sound stuffy, it's because I have a really bad cold. And I think that black is gonna give me that little black chevron line that you see there. So you see right now, I'm just kind of building that idea that I have in my mind. And one of the things is I don't want the chevrons to cover the complete page. I'm just looking at the image and I like the fact that it looks like it was cut and restricted. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark my 6x6 paper pad. I'm gonna work with the 6 paper pad. I'm gonna take my first create my chevron. I'm gonna mark my center line, and then I'm gonna go from the top right corner. I'm gonna measure 2 inches in, and then make a mark at the 2 inches and the 3 inches, and then same thing at the bottom, 2 inches and 3 inches, and I'm just gonna run the 2-inch line from the 2 to the top corner to the edge, and then I create my little line, and the same at the bottom, and then just kind of where I mark the next inch to be at 3 inches, same thing, create a 3-inch line, and then just create my chevron. If I messed it up, sorry, it's hard for me to explain how to create the chevron. Once I have one created, I'm just gonna use it as a template and cut all the little pieces of paper. So you're gonna see that the way I want to build it is I want to put color black and white, color black and white, color black and white. I think that's just gonna break the color. It's gonna bring everything together. I'm using a black and white picture. Now I knew that I wanted a chevron at the top, but I also wanted a small little kind of row of chevrons at the bottom, just where I'm gonna put my title. And for this, I am actually gonna use one of the chevrons that I have left over as a template. So all I did is kind of cut it in half. So I marked half an inch from each side, and then just cut it towards the middle. And then I'm gonna use the leftover half just to like the template to cut the other one. And then I'm gonna take it off camera and just kind of stitch through the center line of the chevron. So kind of so that it holds it in place. Once I have that, you're gonna see that machine stitching and I don't get along that great. I like it, but I have a hard time with it for some reason. I don't know. But so all I did is, like I said, the machine stitching is gonna bring texture, and it's also gonna hold everything in place nicely. Especially because I'm using mixed media, so I don't want to glue stuff things to move a lot because of the gesso. So the machine stitching actually helps a lot. Now that I have all that in place, I don't know if I see it right now. I'm actually gonna ruffle the edges a little bit just to make sure that you can see the little spacing in between the chevrons in this case. And this is gonna bring a little bit more of the texture, not make it so flat. I like things with a lot of dimension. I'm not gonna say bulk. I do like bulky things too, but in this case I wanted to play with the dimension. I don't want it to be all flat. Now that I'm happy with what this looks like, I'm actually gonna start building embellishing the layout. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull another paper from the Joyful collection that matches the sky blue color that I have at the top. Once I have backed the picture with that, I am actually adding a piece of foam not foam adhesive, a piece of fun foam behind the picture because I want to give it a bit of a lift, and I'm gonna glue it right out after what the big chevrons are at. And then I'm gonna start embellishing. I want to bring some of that yellow, so I'm gonna bring one of the frames from the collection, and I'm just gonna trim it a bit so that it fits at the bottom corner of the picture. Now I'm gonna start just embellishing. Now I'm gonna go kind of in a color blocking color blocking for this layout. Sorry. So first thing, before I start embellishing, I know where my title is gonna be. So before I forget, and it's not that I forget, I'm just on heavily sedated. So I just went and put my title, and I know my title is gonna be Happiness is Homemade. So I'm using the little puffy word from the Joyful Day collection, and I'm bringing the little mini alphabet from Everyday Musings. All of this is Pinkfresh Studio, just to complete my title. I wanted those little letters at the bottom. After that, I'm just gonna, like I said, my idea is I'm gonna color block this layout. So I pulled a few pieces of ephemera that matches the tones of the blues at the top. Then you're gonna see that I'm gonna bring that wooden button because it has a little bit of the sky blue, and I like the roundness just to match the little roundness in also the frame. That heart that you see right now, that comes from the Everyday Musings. I love the little banner that comes on top, but I wanted something yellow, so I went and pulled one of the stickers from the Joyful Day collection, and I'm bringing that yellow label that you see at the bottom. That's from Everyday Musings. So all I'm doing is color blocking and adding layers behind it. I'm cutting up some labels. I don't want to waste the top. Now this sticker here, this is from I think it's Live More. This is a collection from a couple years ago, but it had the perfect tone. I love the sayings of these stickers. I think I have like 3 packs. I've stashed them because I just love it. So I'm just gonna bring one of the sentiments and just trim it to create a banner. And I'm just gonna glue it at the bottom. You're gonna see that I'm gonna add a few more repetitive elements. So I'm bringing some of those buttons. I'll bring some of those puffy stars that come in that set of the puffy words. And then I'm just gonna bring the enamel dots, sorry, that come in the embellishment set. And just to finish this, I'm gonna add a few lines of journal at the bottom of the title, right under the "It's homemade." Outside of the camera, I drew some lines with pencil, and all I'm doing, like I said, is adding a few stickers, just kind of in a color blocking sequence. I Once I add my lines of journal, you're gonna see that little banner that I pulled from the heart. I'm gonna add it right where the chevron lines finish, and I'm gonna add a little heart there just to kind of break and create my little triangle. And after that, I'm gonna add a few drops of gold ink, just because some of the stickers have some gold foiling. And that's about it. I really love how this turned out. This layout with took 1 hour of camera. I think it took around an hour and a half because of the drawing time for the mixed media, but it was super simple. I had a lot of fun putting this together. And don't forget to join us in the color challenge. You can check everything, the material that I used at the Scrapbook Nerd shop. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you guys. Take care.